The Yorkshire Coastcast with Paddy. Loving life in Yorkshire. The people, the places.
Hello and welcome to episode 53.
This is the Coast.
Coming up, why has a Scarborough man run 5 miles around his car? Also, are you good at baking? Barrowcliff needs you. We hear from the Wilf Ward Family Trust and we get set for English Tourism Week. All to come. Thank you for listening to and subscribing to the Yorkshire Coastcast podcast. It comes from the team at This Is The Coast, the local commercial radio station for the Yorkshire Coast. And you can find us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and always at thisisthecoast.co.uk/podcasts, as well as the This Is The Coast app. Now, certainly if you're from Scarborough and use social media a lot, then you've probably seen some videos in the last week from Tom Johnson. He's doing an awful lot of running at the moment for a very, very important reason, and it's a very powerful one as well. Welcome, Tom.
So, just to show the power of social media, I'm running 5k every day till the target's met for Louise's GoFundMe. I've done this in various different ways, so for hitting £10,000, I ran 5k around my car last night, which actually I set my Strava up wrong and it was set to 5 miles. So that went a bit harder than I thought. But I've also run a 5k.
So you ended up running 5 miles around your car?
Yeah, instead of 5 kilometres, I said it wrong.
That must be horrendous. 5 miles around a car.
Yeah, it was at Horse's stable as well, so there was a horse with me.
Yeah, no, I did see the video, yeah. So that's... What else have you been doing then?
So I've done a 5k with my little boy on my shoulders, and then I've just done general runs each day explaining updates and how people can help in different ways. Okay, so there is a really powerful, very important reason for this. So just take us right back to the beginning, and life is absolutely normal, and then what happens? So Louise, my girlfriend's mum, she heading into hospital with shoulder and back pain. Within 2 days of that, they found a tumour, and she went further 2 weeks later without speaking to her family and found out that she had stage 4 lymphoma. So she went to York Hospital. 2 days after that, got up to have a drink and collapsed. Ever since that day, she's been paralysed as well. Incredible. And how long ago was that? So that was April 2025. Okay, so not even a year ago. No. And so since then, she's been paralysed. Do you know what caused the collapse? So what happened was the cancer in the 2 weeks of them finding what it was spread around the body into a bone marrow and pressed onto her lower spine, which caused her to become paralysed from her sternum down. So absolutely horrendous. And how's your girlfriend been with this news? So with my girlfriend, she's 21 and she's currently looking after her granddad who lives at the bottom of the street, who's blind. Her dad works abroad, so she's running the family, which her younger brother is autistic, so that has its own little challenges to help him. And she's also managing a uni degree, and she's just gone to 8 weeks of work placement in a primary school, so she doesn't have a lot of time. No. And so that's why you're stepping up to do this. And I mean, you are into fitness, aren't you, for those that don't know? Yes, I am a personal trainer at a gym called Fashionable Fitness. Yeah, so you do that. But this obviously is extremely personal, and I'm sure in your personal training handbook, there's nothing in there that suggests people run around a car and cover 5 miles, right? It's just a little milestone thing to say I'm still here, I'm still doing it, and whatever it takes, it'll push me to drive towards that goal. So the money that you're raising then, and you've raised loads, which is fantastic, where is that going? So it'll be used on certain medical treatment. So we might need to move private in regards to the physio and trying to get Lou towards a couple of steps. It'll go to accessibility in the house, because at the moment, if she was to go home, she'll be in the front room and nobody could be able to come round and just sit down and talk to her. She'll be in the centre of everything. We're looking at getting her add-on to the house with a wet room and her own bedroom downstairs. It's great that you've been able to come up with a plan of what she needs, and with that helps in terms of the targets with the fundraising, which is really good as well. How is the outlook for her then? You know, what have the doctors said? So the outlook at the moment is they've managed to shrink the lymphoma, but it's always a big risk of it coming back. And the builders who I've spoke to, who have gone through the council, etc., it could take up to 4 years to get all the building through. But all Louise wants is her family back and to see her. With her being 2 hours away from her house in Wakefield at the moment, the family only managed to get to see her 1 or 2 times a week.
Yeah, so she's in hospital in Wakefield. So she's been obviously. How long has she been there for then?
She's been in Wakefield at its current state for about 5 months. She's been to Castle Hill, Pinderfields, Leeds and York. So they've all been travelling. Really,
really tough. And I've got to say, credit to you as well, those videos that you're posting on social media of your runs, there's a lot of positivity, isn't there? And they're a good fun watch. When you started out, you said, I don't know how this is going to go. I've not really done stuff like this before, but you seem to have got into it really well. And I think that's why people have backed you, I suppose, yeah? You managed to find some enjoyment in a difficult time.
Yeah, well, I must admit, the enjoyment is not the running for me, but the support is just driving me to do that. And Louise has received a lot of messages. At first, she kept it to herself because she didn't want to make a fuss, but it's come to this now where we're asking for help, so that's the current stage.
And what I did find very powerful as well is on that first video, you were like, come on, guys, this is the first one. Don't let me be looking at that camera saying, this is the 150th run.
So it started on social media at 6 p.m. Monday night. So we're 8 days into it. I've just recorded this morning's run. And then that'll go live around 5 to 7 each night, trying to keep it consistent.
Yeah. Have you had any suggestions or any ideas on other big challenges when it comes to this 5K? Because you've run around a car now and done 5 miles instead of 5K. So people will be thinking, right, okay, what are you going to do next? Obviously, that is the stuff that gets out there and reaches people and tugs at the heartstrings, isn't it?
We're looking at doing 5K, finding someone who I trust, and I do it completely blindfolded.
Right. Well, you really would have to trust them, wouldn't you, I think?
Yeah.
I'll throw one in there as well. Maybe do 5K backwards as well.
That could be a good one. It'll be at least give the front muscles a rest.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. I think there's a guy that does the McCain Yorkshire Coast 10K backwards as well.
Oh, wow.
Not massively fast, but it is doable. Anyway, I'll stop there because otherwise you'll just be like, stop talking to me, stop giving me these ideas. These are dreadful. Look, it's great what you're doing, and obviously you hit £10,000, didn't you? I think last time I saw it was over 12 grand. What is the target now then?
So we're looking to hit 14,000, and I've just come up with another idea that I'm currently promoting, is asking for raffle prizes of local businesses and individuals. And we're going to host a big raffle next Sunday will be the deadline, and we'll put out the tickets, and then we'll live stream a big raffle to everyone.
So when you say next Sunday, is that the 15th?
Yep.
So deadline 15th to get as great a raffle prize as possible. Then you do that live raffle and raise some more money. Yeah, great.
It was day one yesterday of collecting raffle prizes and of vouchers off companies and different products. I think I've reached nearly £1,000 worth already.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Are you managing to still find time for your stuff as well? Is it sort of unsociable hours that you tend to work anyway?
So today an example of today, so I've been and done my run. I've walked my dog at the same time. I'll go work for my granddad and help him out, and then I'm at work till 10 tonight. But tomorrow I've got my little boy, so it'll be a walking 5K tomorrow. Keep
at it, and hope you keep smashing those targets, and please pass on our best to the family, won't you?
Thank you for having me, Paddy.
And that is Tom Johnson, and you can get the fundraising link at thisisthecoast.co.uk right now in the Yorkshire Coast news section.
The Yorkshire Coastcast, loving life in Yorkshire.
And this is Paddy. Next, are you good at baking? If so, the good people of Barrowcliff in Scarborough need you. Let's speak to Bill Chat, who no matter what time of day it is, always sounds very chirpy. What's going on, Bill?
Yes, so we've got a bake-off. Absolutely great idea. So on Barrowcliff, anybody who wants to come and join us, we've got some 3 categories. So we've got an under-16s, we've got a 16 to 65 and over 65. And in each category, you could win first prize £100 of shopping vouchers. Then there's a second prize of £50 of shopping vouchers. And obviously a third prize of £25 of vouchers. So for each category, there's 3 prizes. And then we have what we're calling the cake of the day. So whoever makes the cake of the day is going to walk away with £150 of shopping vouchers. Absolutely fantastic.
And what's the uptake been when it comes to the cakes? Are people busy baking this week?
Well, people are out baking now, all right, getting ready and testing, because one of the things I can't do is I can't be a judge. This is one of the things what I really am upset about, because I've got a nut allergy, which means that if I do, I might get a problem. And then I'm a diabetic as well, so I cannot be a judge, Paddy. I mean, can you believe that? All these cakes now, I'm not going to get one of them.
That's tragic. Absolutely tragic, Bill. So how many cakes do you think there might be?
Well, what we've said is that people can bring the cakes down for judging at 10 o'clock, leave them in the centre. We'll give everybody a unique number. Then at 12 to 1, we've got 3 anonymous judges coming along who's going to test them, and they're going to rate them according to the number what's on there. And then 1 o'clock, people can turn up back. We're going to charge £1 because we're going to provide a cup of tea. And then you can test the cakes what are in there. And all those pounds are going to go to Gallows Centre to help with their work. So it'll be a really fun afternoon. And I was talking to one person who said, well, my daughter can't really bake. She's too young. I says, what's up with crispy cakes? I love a good crispy cake, like you, Paddy. I know you like a crispy cake. So as long as you've made them yourself, pop them in and give it a go. Somebody's going to win. We've got a lovely big ribbon for cake of the day as well, so you're going to take that home with you. But it's one of those days where it's just people coming together to enjoy themselves. And I love a lovely bit of cake. We're not doing any pies, we're just doing cakes.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds really, really good fun. But be prepared for people being a little bit competitive, Bill, you know?
I have got people up here who are saying to me, I bought new nozzles and I bought new this and I bought new that because I'm going to win this cake of the day. And it's very competitive. So I'm just saying to anybody who's out there, because as you can imagine, there will be categories where we won't get a lot of entries in. So somebody might be sat there now thinking, I make a really good Victoria slice. Why not bring it along? Try it. You could win a handful of vouchers.
Great. So that's this Saturday, Gallows Close Centre, Barrowcliff, and entries. Those cakes must be dropped off between 10 and 12. Yeah, between 10 and 12. Brilliant. Thanks, Bill. Hope it goes really well.
Thanks, Paddy. I'll let you know if I manage to eat a cake or two.
Sounds like you shouldn't be going near them with the nut allergy. Yeah, be careful. Be careful, Bill.
I will. You might not see me on Sunday or for the rest of the week. All right, Paddy, you have a grand weekend.
You too, Bill. Bill Chat there from Barrowcliff, and that event is happening this Saturday. Make sure you drop off your cakes early, and good luck if you're taking part.
The Yorkshire Coastcast, loving life in Yorkshire. The people, the places. This is the coast.
And this is episode 53 of the Yorkshire Coastcast podcast with me, Paddy, from the team at This Is The Coast, the local commercial radio station for the Yorkshire Coast, on DAB, digital radio, online at thisisthecoast.co.uk, on smart speakers. Yep, ask your Alexa to play This Is The Coast or launch This Is The Coast. You can download our free app and you can listen to us on Roku TV as well. Coming up, it's English Tourism Week from Friday the 13th of March onwards. So we're going to be speaking to the man in charge of Visit England about that, with a real focus on tourism here on the Yorkshire Coast, of course. So that's coming up. That'll be interesting. Firstly, we've been hammering on about this for quite a while. The Wilf Ward Bunny Bounce is nearly here, and this is where we are inviting local primary schools and nurseries to do a little bit of fundraising for the Wilf Ward Family Trust. We'll bring the ears, you bring the bounce. Yes, so if you tell us that your school has, 250 people taking part, we will literally turn up with 250 sets of bunny ears. And then it's up to you what you do. It could be a bunny bounce. It could be a bunny hop. It could be bunny tag, bunny bounce tag, lots of different ideas. And I should say that on the This Is The Coast social media pages, huge thank you to Hummonby Primary School, who've filmed a video for us with some fantastic examples of the kind of stuff that you can do. And you can sign up right now by clicking features at thisisthecoast.co.uk. But we say it's for the Wilf Ward Family Trust. What is the Wilf Ward Family Trust all about? Let's speak to Michelle Sharp from the Wilf Ward Family Trust, who can tell us about this fantastic organisation.
My name is Michelle Sharp and I am the Marketing, Communications and Fundraising Business Partner for the Wilf Ward Family Trust.
We'll talk about the Bunny Bounce in a moment, but just tell us a bit about the trust firstly.
So Wilf Ward Family Trust is a charity that is across the Yorkshire region supporting individuals with learning disabilities and autism.
You help let them lead extraordinary lives, don't you? That's the key thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So we are all about active citizenship, inclusion, and just enabling people to lead a normal life, which we say extraordinary life, but that is because it's very much what we take for granted is extraordinary. So, enable extraordinary lives.
Based locally and covering quite a big area as well.
Yeah, so we are Yorkshire-based, but we cover from Whitby right down through into Scarborough. We go York, we go Goole, we go Harrogate, North Allerton, Ripon. So it's a really great sort of region cover.
And the Bunny Bounce, a fun way for primary school children and nursery children to get involved as well.
So we are doing this with school children and nurseries so that we can start raising awareness young and really enabling children to have a really broad understanding of what a learning disability is and what autism is, and we can really start to raise awareness from a young age and allow that enabling of extraordinary lives to continue. It'll just be a really fun event. So the event will take place in schools. It can take place in a PE. It doesn't have to be a specific activity that the school have to do. It can be a bounce, it can be a hop, it can be a bouncing a ball, it can be an egg and spoon race. So just something fun and something engaging and exciting for the children.
And no matter how many children are taking part, you'll provide the ears.
We do provide the ears, and they are great ears, and they keep them, and it'll just be really exciting.
And that was Michelle Sharp from Wilf Ward Family Trust telling us all about the organisation and how they would love you to get involved with the Wilf Ward Bunny Bounce. If you are from a primary school or a nursery, sign up now. Click features at thisisthecoast.co.uk.
The Yorkshire Coastcast. Loving life in Yorkshire.
Now, you might have noticed signs that the season is coming, and of course for the Yorkshire Coast, which relies heavily on tourism, it is good news. The weather's better, attractions are dusting off the cobwebs and getting ready to reopen, and Easter is just around the corner. It is English Tourism Week from the 13th to the 22nd of March. And to talk about the opportunities in 2026 for the Yorkshire Coast, let's speak to Andrew Stokes, Director of Visit England. Welcome along. So how is the tourism industry looking for the Yorkshire Coast as we head into the season in 2026?
So tourism is an incredibly important industry. It's a big industry and it impacts on lots of people. In total, there are many hundreds of thousands of SME businesses that make up our industry. We employ some 2.2 million people. And the spend of our industry is about £127 billion. So we're not talking a small industry. I believe we could, however, do better. Our domestic industry has had a mixed year. So whilst we've seen some very positive figures for the urban domestic tourism offering, we have seen coastal tourism has performed not as well this year, so 10% down year on year.
Yeah. Any reason for that, do you think? I know the weather's not been great.
I think, look, people's booking patterns have changed, so people now tend to book much, much later. If they think the weather's at all looking dodgy, they might not go. And I think people have probably sort of forgotten a little bit the coastal offering. And so one of the things that we've been doing is we've been working on a pilot to try and work with government to show that promoting coastal tourism, domestic tourism, will actually bring about benefits. So there are some views that domestic tourism is just sort of churn. If you get them to visit Scarborough, that's because they've not visited Skegness. And what we're trying to show is that no, people make choices, and quite often those choices might be whether they go to France or the city in France for a short break, or they take a short break in Yorkshire. And that balance of payments is not good at the moment. At the moment, we spend far more money travelling internationally than international people do spend travelling to England. If we could convince just 10% of Brits who holiday abroad to take a short break in England instead, that would give us an extra £8 billion worth of gross domestic product. I mean, it's huge.
That is massive, yeah. Obviously, there's quite a lot of uncertainty as well, isn't it? It's been in the news recently with everything happening in Iran and Brits getting stuck in Dubai and all that. And, you know, without saying it's an opportunity, but there is a lot of instability around the world in places that people have previously felt safe. That might have a factor in where people decide to book their holidays this summer.
It may do indeed. I mean, I think we run a perception survey every month where we talk to a cohort of people who are potential short break takers, you know, who could take a short break in England. For some lengthy period now, the top concern that people have has actually been the economy. The top concern or reason they give for why they might not take a break has actually been personal finance or the economy. With regard to the global situation, it's probably for us a little early to be making predictions. A lot will depend on the next few weeks and how long it continues. So for inbound tourism, very important markets of Australia, India, of the Arab Emirates themselves, who are very important and high spending markets, those markets that generally hub through the Arab Emirates, whilst we've not seen a drop in bookings yet, according to industry, they have seen a drop in searches, which is normally a precursor to bookings. And so, you know, we could find that our inbound tourism is impacted by that. And that's even before you start considering the cost of fuel. But yes, I suppose that there is certainly potential opportunity or opportunistic approach that we could take to how we try to see whether we can maximise domestic tourism. But as I say, it's a bit early yet, and though I wish I had one, I don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah. You know, when I think of the Yorkshire coast, there are foreign visitors that come to places like Whitby because Bram Stoker and Dracula.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's stuff like that is known globally. Scarborough, famous for the Scarborough Fair song. And now, in the last few years, we do have a Scarborough Fair. They're playing on that fame and they've turned it into like a fringe festival and a streets festival and other stuff.
I love that. That's true product development. I love it. That's really good.
And it's playing on a brand, isn't it? And so therefore, that sort of stuff, you know, you've got it there. You've got this great bit of this great marketing tool. Use it. And actually, one of the things that's been really impressive in recent times, we've run a big international campaign around called Starring GB, where the focus of it is that some of the most impactful most loved films in recent years have actually been filmed against the backdrop that is Great Britain. And so we've been sort of saying, you know, the real star of the show is actually Britain or England. And Yorkshire have fared very well out of that and have really embraced that. The biggest example of that recently, of course, has been Wuthering Heights. And I am predicting a flood of tourists will be making their way to the home of the Brontes. Yes, and actually, Anne Bronte is buried in the St Mary's Churchyard here in Scarborough, so we do have that connection. They did spend a lot of time here too, so it is important, isn't it, that we play on stuff like that, especially for the you know the foreign tourists who you know, this is the thing as well. Sometimes when you live here all your life, you forget just how wonderful it is and just how much there is to show off, and it's great to have that awareness. Sometimes I wish I could just leave for a few months and come back and see it from the point of view of a visitor, you know, because we've got a lot to be you know, celebrated, you know, a lot to be celebrated. Events are key as well, aren't they? We have huge events here. We have Armed Forces Day, one of the biggest in the country, obviously Goth Weekend in Whitby, Goldwings Light Parade. You know, they're great for locals, but they use the promenades, the topography of the coast, and they you know, the area creates a great backdrop for these big events.
Well, and you've just had, I mean, I have to say, Bradford did an absolutely stellar job with the City of Culture status, and have used that to to bring about some great public works within the city. I was there last week. So impressive. Big events, major initiatives like that are of course, really important.
Yeah, well, we're going for, actually, we're Scarborough, Whitby, and I think even Bridlington, a lot of towns, actually, around the country are going to go for this town of culture, which, if any, whoever gets that, that's going to be a massive opportunity, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. That point you were making about local places, the theme of this year's English Tourism Week is local stories, national growth. And I suppose the point we're making there to government is tourism can benefit communities and small communities all over the country. So whilst at the moment 50% of international visitors go to London, don't leave London, and they think they've done England, if we can get the message out, and if we can get people to these local areas, we can bring about growth quickly. Tourism is an industry that can do that. I also think tourism is one of those industries where you love hearing a story that you think is special for you, or you've found out a bit of a secret that a local has told you, where you can go and get the best pint of Yorkshire ale, whatever. And so I think for me, it's that thing of we need the local population to support the tourism industry. And so there's a bit of a call to action, which is this week, be a tourist in your own area. Go and visit a local attraction. Maybe it's somewhere you haven't been to since you were at school, but go on, they will be pleased to see you.
Yeah, and actually it's interesting you say that, because I often wonder how many locals, in Scarborough haven't been into Scarborough Castle, or how many people in Whitby haven't been to Whitby Abbey, or, it's amazing actually. You see these landmarks on your doorstep day in, day out, and, how often do you actually go in? And things like Residence Weeks are really good for that, where, there's free entry for people in a certain postcode. And I tell you what is a big talking point here in Scarborough at the moment is the fact that Scarborough, the world's first seaside resort, thanks to Mrs. Farrer discovering the Smile Waters in 1626. This is the 400th anniversary of Scarborough becoming the first seaside resort.
I was aware of that, which is fantastic.
Well, it's great that you're aware, but the problem is there's quite a bit of debate in Scarborough about how little has been done about this so far. Now, Scarborough Maritime Heritage Centre, they have a display which is great, and there is talk of a sculpture in the very spot where the Smile Waters were discovered, but it's been put back till September. This is the kind of thing that surely the community should be jumping on and really celebrating the birth of the British seaside on this big milestone.
Absolutely.
Another issue that we've had here as well, and I guess this is something else that can affect tourism. We had a huge moorland fire last August, which turns out it started maybe as early as June. Someone using some, camping gear or something. Now, that closed the main roads in the middle of the summer holidays between Scarborough and Whitby. Climate change might have its pros and cons, you know what I mean, for the tourism industry, yeah?
Absolutely. Again, that crystal ball, I really need that crystal ball now.
Yeah. Tourism Week, you want locals to go and enjoy some of the local attractions. Tourism businesses themselves, what's good for them to do?
What we're asking them to do is we're asking them to engage on their socials, on their social media, highlighting that the season is beginning again. We're asking them to engage with their local MPs, with their local councillors, so that it just reminds them of the importance of tourism. And we're asking them to actually make sure that they do something with their local residents. One of the other projects that we have during English Tourism Week is our Tourism Superstar project. We've been running this for over 10 years now. So we have had nominations from all the local visitor economy partnerships around the country for who they think their tourism superstars are. These are the people who go above and beyond, the volunteers or the groups of volunteers, all different aspects of the industry. We have shortlisted down to 10, and then it goes out to public vote. And I would urge people to go on to visitengland.org/tourism superstar vote, and actually they'll see that there is a Yorkshire candidate there. They should have a look and maybe cast a vote. God's own country, supporting God's own country, you never know.
Yeah. Well, we all know here that it's the best place in the world, you know, for locals and visitors, but we've always been like that in Yorkshire, haven't we? Thanks for your time. Appreciate it, and enjoy English Tourism Week.
You too. Thank you very much.
And that was Andrew Stokes, Director of Visit England. So, yes, if you do work in the tourism industry, or you are a tourist who loves visiting the Yorkshire coast, let's all make the most of English Tourism Week. Hopefully helps with a little bit of good weather too. Well, that is it for episode 53 of the Yorkshire Coastcast podcast.
The Yorkshire Coastcast. The people, the places.
Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from, and we'll see you on episode 54. Thanks for listening.
The Yorkshire Coastcast.
Loving